Hello and welcome to QuestLore, a Disney Family Lorcana podcast, where each and every week we come to you and talk to you about all things Lorcana from our family's perspective. I'm Matt.
I'm Emmett. I'm Malcolm.
And I'm Jen.
Okay, and we missed last week. Last week, Shimmering Skies came out.
Shimmering Skies last week.
There you go. Thank you, Emmett. But we missed last week because we were out. We were out of our home, and we were at Disneyland, and we were in Hawaii. We've been on quite the adventure.
Yes.
So it has been quite the journey. We are back home. We are still recovering from our trip. At least Mom and Dad are.
Yeah.
The kids are just getting ready for school to start.
Yeah. I went back to school yesterday.
I went back to work like right
Monday,
away the next day.
Like we literally got home 7 p.m. on Sunday, and he had to go back to work on Monday morning. And
Yep. It's been a rough week, but we are back at it. Normally we talk about what we've been playing. We haven't gone to League in a couple of weeks. We did find out results from last League ended, and the four of us had the most points.
Yay!
Going into the end of the league, and at our store that means we got to split a set four box. So we got to open that. That was fun.
And did we get anything good in that box? You guys remember?
We got a couple good stuff. So, in an Ursula's Return box that we opened, this guy got his. I got him enchanted.
Which it won, Malcolm?
It wasn't it on Melissa thing?
No, it was the Queen.
It was the Queen.
The Queen.
Evil. Yeah. So it was the Queen.
The card that
which is awesome because we hadn't pulled one of those before, so.
Which the Queen is a great card in some Sapphire decks.
Yeah, it sees a little bit of play, and I actually had someone from the store already reach out to me and say, "Hey, are you looking to trade that?" I'm like, "Hey, I need set 5 legendaries and super rares."
Yes, so
please. We'll see if anything goes from that.
That's set 4.
Nice.
I know that's set 4, but what we need is set 5.
Like they want that enchanted, so they're willing to trade us some set 5 legendaries that we are running low on.
Okay.
Or daisies.
Give us 18 billion daisies.
Yeah. And then we also had we got our set 5 stuff. We got all of our pins from set 4.
Yep.
And Mom pulled enchanted Clarabelle.
Yes, I did. That was really fun. I pulled an enchanted Clarabelle when we were opening our boxes. But that wasn't the first set 5 enchanted we pulled. So we were able to get some product while in Disneyland. So let's talk about that first. Why don't we talk about Disneyland? So we've never, none of the 4 of us have ever even been to California before.
No.
And so this is our first time in California, first time in LA and Anaheim, and first time in Disneyland and Disney's California Adventure. So, Emmett,
which is my
1 minute recap of what you loved about Disneyland.
Incredicoaster, and then 1 minute of Emmett only saying Incredicoaster.
Yes.
Okay.
I like the Incredicoaster, which she was nervous about because it goes upside down.
Yeah, he did great. All right, how about you, Malcolm? What was just 1 minute of stuff you loved about Disneyland and Disney California Adventure?
Dinosaurs, no Indiana Jones. There's a dark ride where you get hit by a train. Haunted Mansion was Nightmare Before Christmas. Pirates was way better. The roller coasters were great. I really liked the Incredicoaster. I wasn't that big fan of Matterhood. Smallwood was pretty good. Runaway Railway and Roger. Calm down. I'm just reminding you. Runaway Railway was the exact same thing, but I got to see the one Oswald.
Guardians.
So yeah, Guardians was really good, which is just Tower of Terror, and there was a 3 rides where you use stuff the Spider-Man ride where you pretend to shoot webs at a screen, Toy Story Mania, and the Buzz Lightyear ride where you use fake laser blasters.
But those are the same as Disney World.
They're all fun.
So awesome. Did you guys have a great time?
Yes, but there's also one difference from Runaway Railway and Disney World and Disneyland. It's in the city scene right before the dance. So there's this paper that says Oswald wins. In Disney World,
no, in Disneyland we saw it. In Disneyland it says Oswald wins.
No, both of them says Oswald wins.
Okay.
So both of the parks have Oswald wins. Disney World has an Oswald image on it. Disneyland is not.
Okay.
Okay, that's a little bit more in depth and we probably need to go.
Yes.
Jen, what did you think of Disneyland of Walt's Park?
Um, I loved it. Like, and something we didn't mention, but we happened to be there on D23 day,
Yep.
which was kind of cool for a few reasons. Kind of annoying because it was extra busy
Yeah.
and extra crazy, but um, it was really cool. Like, we did get to see like the 2-story trolley go by with some of the Disney legends that were absolutely amazing, like Paige O'Hare, who, oh, original Belle is just, that's incredible. Um, as well as, who else? Oh, the original Ariel. Jodie Benson.
Jodie Benson.
And then,
Farmer.
yeah, who voices
Goofy.
so many things, including Pooh Bear, Goofy,
Yep.
Pete, like so many.
Isn't he that person who does that podcast on TikTok?
Yes, he has his own podcast. Yes, he does. And then we also, Kenny Ortega was there, who directed and choreographed all the High School Musical movies, as well as all the Descendants movies. Um, and he was also a choreographer and judge in So You Think You Can Dance, and we used to love that show. Like, I haven't watched it so much since the pandemic, but like that used to be one of my favorite shows. So that was really cool. One of it was, so that was cool. We did meet some, like famous TikTokers, which we follow, which was really cool.
I even met Alice.
Yeah, and so one of the big things that's different about Disneyland than Disney World is there's not very many lines for characters to get signatures. Instead, they just kind of wander the park. So, who were some of the people that we met?
Oswald! Yeah, we did meet Oswald.
Yes. Malcolm got to not only meet Oswald, but what did Oswald do with you, Malcolm?
I got his signature.
Yeah, but when he recognized you were dressed up as him, what did he do? Did he hold your hand and walk with you?
Yeah.
And then shake his little tail with you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really, really cute. And then Emmett, you got to meet who?
Alice and the Mad Hatter.
Yep, Alice and the Mad Hatter, which is super cool. And then one of the funnest things that I saw that I just like, I feel like is Disney magic, and I wish it would have happened to us, but when we were walking by the teacups, we noticed that the Mad Hatter and Alice were just down in the teacups and just decided to find 2 teacups that weren't full and sat and rode the ride with people. And that's like just that's such Disney magic to me. Like, I love that.
Pretty cool.
The Alice in Wonderland ride was also great. I know it's one of those. I know it's one of those storybook rides, which I'm not the biggest fan of, but I still like those storybook rides.
I think it just works like if you really like the story.
Sure. But we also saw Captain Hook.
Yep.
And who else did we see? Minnie, Mickey, Goofy, Pluto.
All the regular characters.
Yeah, except for no Daisy.
Yeah.
Or Donald.
I saw Donald.
Did you? We never saw Daisy.
Waited in line for
Donald always ran away.
But then,
sadly, we didn't get to see Mandalorian and.
No, we did miss that because we were so busy both days. Because we did go to Disneyland 2 days and then California Adventure 1 day. We were just so busy running around with everything, trying to get as many rides as we could. That the characters weren't something we could always do. But we did get to see the big parade, and they have really cool characters there. Like, my favorite one that they don't have at Disney World is Merlin and Arthur. That was really cool.
Yeah, that was definitely cool. It's a park that has a lot in it.
Yes.
Almost
packed.
Too much.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that would be my one comparison between, like, the one thing that I think I like about Disney World better. The reason I would think I prefer Disney World, besides it being our first park, which I think that just has a big check mark to it, right?
Sure.
Is that everything feels so tight and compact in Disneyland. It's too packed. There's too much there. Like, if you're waiting in line, you're waiting outside. It feels like the rides weren't built with lines in mind. So you're waiting in that sun. Whereas in Disney World, like, if you're waiting out in the sun, that's because the line is super long.
Yeah, most of the queues in Disney World were built to be under shade at least, if not inside. Like, even rides that are outside, like the teacups, it's shaded.
Yeah.
And even the ride is shaded. And that was one thing just about Disneyland in general, though, and maybe because the weather is more temperate there than in Florida, but everything was more outside. Seating for dining was almost always outside. Queues were almost always. I think the only queue that weren't outside were the brand new rides. So the Toontown rides and Rise.
Yep.
And
Smugglers.
And Smugglers. So, but
again,
yeah, brand new rides. But even newer rides over on California Adventure side, like Cars,
Yep.
the whole queue was outside. So that was something with, not being super sensitive to the sun wasn't a huge deal, but I could see it being a big deal. And because it was pretty hot the days we were there.
I am happy that the Incredicoaster was shaded.
Yeah, the Incredicoaster was shaded. It was outside, but it
The
was
main
shaded.
reason the Cars was outside is because like all of Cars takes place outside.
Well, no, it's a dark ride part too, kind of, because remember like the Mater and stuff, the story that's inside first.
I mean, I guess.
And I will say.
I mean, like the movie.
Oh right, sure. But I will say like a couple of the other things that were just amazing for me, which is like the look of Radiator Springs.
Yes,
Even from far
away.
away.
Just so beautiful.
And then when you walk under the bridge and it becomes Toontown, like that was like that's Imagineering at its best.
Yes.
Right
that
there.
was very cool. That was a very cool effect when you walk through and oh look, it's Toontown. I know this from Roger Rabbit.
Yes.
Yeah, that it felt like that moment when Eddie is driving through the tunnel and comes out. Hey, look, you're in Toontown. That felt like that. So lots of
Who's
cool
Eddie again?
The main character.
The taxi. The main character.
The main character, Eddie Valentine.
When he was driving.
Yes.
Oh. Also, we got to meet Mr. Ka-chow himself. Yes, we did.
Oh, we saw him.
We saw Lightning McQueen driving down the street.
Yeah. So that was all cool. But then, we went Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday was launch day of Simmering Skies. But what else was it, Matt?
It was also the first day of D23. So first it was launch day for Shimmering Skies.
Shimmering Skies last week.
I did it.
And so it was also D23. It was the first day there. Now we had flights that left at 3:00 ish to go to Hawaii. So spending the whole day at D23 just wasn't going to be in the cards for us. When the tickets went on sale, we weren't sure what was going to be there for Lorcana. We just assumed something was going to be there. So I bought one ticket, figuring that I would at least get up early, go there, and grab whatever we can get. From there, Shimmering Skies, they at least buy a box or two of cards, even if nothing else, just to say, hey, I bought these from Disney.
Yeah.
And then they released the D23 set, and that was going to go on sale. So they also said it was going to be on sale at Disneyland in downtown Disney over at Pin Traders.
Yeah.
So I went over to D23 at 4 in the morning.
And I went in line. They wouldn't let our line start until 6.
Something like that.
6. Like if you were out, because we were staying at Pixar Pier, and so they had one line in front of Pixar Pier, and so basically if you were coming out of the hotel, they let us line up at 6, but people who drove and parked in the parking lot, they couldn't get out of their cars until 6:30.
Right. Yeah.
But then they didn't let us through. They didn't even let us start going through security until 6:45, and then it opened at 7. So it was mad.
Yeah, security opened at 4:30 in the morning.
Right.
Or 5 in the morning, where I was. So you got through security, and then you walked a ton the other side of the convention center from where I was lined up to basically get in and get inside this taped box. And you could get in basically in one of 3 areas. So there was 2 on the ends and then 1 in the middle. And all of us were quickly looking at the maps to figure out which one is the one by the Ravensburger booth. And so I got into the one by the Ravensburger booth, and I was probably within the first 50 or so of that pen that they kept us in, and like they would come by us and say, "Stay in the yellow line." Like, okay, man, we're just wait. And we all just stood there for like 4 hours, just waiting for them to open. And so by the time I was even inside D23, you had already gotten through line. So why don't you go through yours? Because chronologically, you were back at the hotel before I even moved.
I know. So once I got through the line, like there was actually 2 lines at that point, like one like right at Pin Traders, and one that was kind of across the way. Mm-hmm. They had a whole like queue set up, like S queue lined up, and I was only like in the second kind of S-ing around, so I thought it was pretty good. I think it was probably about an hour from when it opened Because then my sister came with us too, came with me too. Malcolm was gonna come with me, but he could not wake up. He was not getting out of bed. I'm like, do you want to get up and get another D23 set, or would you rather sleep? And he goes, I need sleep, which was fair because we had just done 2.5 full days of Disney where we stayed up till very late every single night. So I was fine with that.
Also, I just want to tell everybody something. If you're ever going to Disneyland, tell me how the Incredicoaster was. That is my new favorite ride.
Oh, okay. So anyway, um, oh, our dog is not happy. So we have somebody mowing the lawn because we don't have time to mow it this week because we've been on vacation and then we're leaving for Toronto, which we'll be talking about later. Hi, Zelda. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. So anyway, so it took us about an hour to get through the line, which I did not think was bad. But when I was about 3/4 of the way through the line, so after about 40 minutes or so, I got over to the other side of the street, right in front of Pin Traders, and somebody showed up, and it just so happened to be
Oswald the Lucky Rabbit.
No.
no.
So it was Ryan Miller,
Ryan Miller, who's
one
like
of the co-creators of
yeah,
the game.
the co-creator of the game, personally handing out the gold Taylor Mickey pins. So that was super cool. He came over and greeted us, like thanked us for for standing in line all day and for getting there early, and he was even kind enough because to when I said I have a 12-year-old that couldn't get up out of the hotel this morning, he gave me a second pin for him so he could have a pin too, even though he couldn't get out of bed. So that was super cool. So I got a pin from him. I got a selfie with him. I think Matt posted it on our Instagram. So that was super cool.
Yeah.
But then I got up there. I got my D23 set. I got some packs of cards. And I was back to the hotel by 8 a.m., which at this point, these two, or I think about 8:30, these two had already been swimming in the pools because it opened at 8.
And I was still in my yellow square.
Because it didn't open till 9, right?
Yeah. So I sat in my yellow square for a bit longer. There was one point where they told us, okay, you have to stand now. I'm like, oh, okay. And stay in the yellow square. Okay. And then it started. They walked us up to the doors, and then we sat and waited at the doors. And they didn't actually open the doors, I don't think, till 9:10. So we're open, open, open. Like everyone's just crowded around there. And then they opened the doors, and they kind of, they made us Disney walk um, down the aisle till we got to the Ravensburger booth. And then, so I mentioned there were 3 different entrances. At that point, everything converged. And it was just this massive wall of people trying to get in there. But the thing, I don't know why, but for some reason it seems like they didn't think that the Ravensburger booth would be popular. And you know what? I think if they had done things differently, it wouldn't have been as crazy. But here's the thing: they did a virtual queue for all the other popular stores except Ravensburger. So Ravensburger didn't have a virtual queue. All the other ones did, which meant everybody
was going
to Ravensburger. Like if the Pin store and the other Mickey stores, whatever they were, if those were virtual queues, then it would have dispersed the people more. People had to make a choice. But everybody only had one choice. It's all head to Ravensburger. So everybody had there. It was just this massive clump of people into this just roped off square that they were trying to get people into. And basically there was one person sized entrance into it. So it was all just everyone just kind of froze into place. People were pushing me. I'm a big guy. I feel like I'm being pushed and can't be moved. As I said, I never felt so stuck in my life. If I needed to get somewhere, I couldn't have moved. I pressured just from every single angle. So it was kind of crazy. Eventually, I got into the line where they just had pieces of tape on the floor to snake you through.
Yeah, that's how it was outside too.
Which it's got to be temporary, and the turnstiles were just taking up space, so it was pretty nuts. Ryan Miller had gotten over to D23 after having been at downtown Disney. stood up with like an ink caster in his hand up on the top of a table or something and was just like, everybody stay calm. We've got plenty of product. Just trying to command and calm down the crowd. The line ended up like they wrapped it around a ton of places, and then they said, I think it was like an hour later, the line's closed. No one's allowed more into the line the rest of the day. And that was the only one I got word of that where a line was closed during D23. That was the only time I saw it. The next days they did wristbands for turn times and everything to try to reduce that. But so I got through. I got the gold Mickey pin. I got the Sorcerer Mickey D23 promo card.
Which is so pretty.
Yeah. Bought the D23 sets. Bought a couple of booster boxes, and then quickly kind of just ran around the rest of the place, taking a look at stuff, taking pictures of things before I headed out and we headed over to Hawaii.
Yeah.
So
that was basically it. He came back. We had like 20 minutes to kind of finish packing, and that was it. Like,
yeah, so pretty crazy. Then I'll go over the news from D23 after we finish kind of going over everything else we did,
sure.
And then yeah, so that was pretty much it for our Disney adventures. But then we flew to Hawaii.
Yeah.
And over the course of the cruise, we had a little bit of downtime here and there, like where we just wanted to relax, not wanting to go experience Hawaii. Well, though I will say Hawaii, really cool place.
Yeah, really. We were able to visit, 4 of the islands, and it was really cool. We did Honolulu, we did Maui, rode to Hana, which was really cool, and then we did Volcano National Park was super cool. We did snorkeling in
Hawaii.
And nope, in Kona. Even though somehow when we were in Kona and went to get coffee, we got Hilo coffee.
Yeah.
Not Kona coffee. Don't know how that happened. Really wanted the Kona coffee.
There was no Kona coffee.
It was so weird. But then snorkeling. And what did we see when we were snorkeling, boys? A sea turtle. That was super cool. It almost attacked Matt.
It did. It was swimming towards me, and there are these signs everywhere that, hey, don't touch the turtle. And I turn, and there's this turtle like within like 4 feet of me, swimming at me, like, what do I do? I couldn't like stand up because there's also signs of don't stand up.
Yeah,
so it's like
because brand new coral.
Trying to turn with flippers on and with my face in the water and like at the same time capturing pictures because of course. So it was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
But then yeah,
it was cool. And then we went all the way back up to Kauai and did some tubing through like old irrigation tunnels that were like hand dug out by pickaxes. And so it was fresh water and it was refreshing, wasn't it, boys?
It was freezing.
You weren't allowed to say it was. If you said it was freezing, they splashed you, so it was refreshing. But it was a super cool, super amazing time. And then we did a cool luau that night and got to see lots of cultural stuff. That was really amazing. And then back to Honolulu. And even though not Disney related, like happened to stop by because somehow, luckily, not only were we in LA during D23, but we were in Honolulu during what, boys?
The Pokemon World Championship 2024.
So we actually got to go stop by there a little bit too.
Yeah, wrong game. It's like that's not the game we play.
No. Got some cool merch, and I think he's going to go get the merch that we
probably.
But and then went to the airport, hopped on the plane back to LA, and then after a 4-hour layover, and we hopped on a plane back home, and that was 4 days ago.
Yeah. So it's been quite the journey. I mean, while we were in Hawaii, we had a little bit of downtime here and there where we needed to do something more relaxing. We did manage to fit in some Shimmering Skies play. We took our 2 boxes basically, and we did like between the 4 of us, we did like a mini sealed event. We did a mini drafting event, and then we did like a 2-pack rush event.
And in the sealed, I totally did not pull an enchanted.
Okay.
Except for he did.
So here's this.
Oh yeah. So if you are watching on YouTube,
so we got the little Pikachu where one is in a hula skirt and one is playing the ukulele.
Yeah.
These are.
And these were exclusive for the event. So that was cool. But yeah, so anyway, the first thing we did was we played the 2-pack format, which if you've never played, I really highly recommend it. Super fun. especially if you do only have a few packs available. And we did, I don't remember which episode, but we talked about how to play, the rules to playing that a little bit back.
Also,
Oh.
it was episode 2. Also in that pack, I also during the 2 game formats, I pulled probably the most explosive, legendary, and enchanted yet, Clarabelle.
No.
I'm on it.
And we get phone calls too in the middle of things from their friends. It happens.
So anyway, so he got a Clarabelle legendary. He didn't get the Clarabelle.
Yeah, no, that was yesterday. I don't know what he's talking about.
No.
Like, we got the.
No, he got the. Didn't he get? What's the song?
He got a normal signing.
No, oh no, it was the one with the.
He got a legendary.
It was Royal Tantrum.
No,
yeah, that one.
Yeah. Well, whatever. It doesn't.
Yes. He got an enchanted Royal Tantrum. He is forgetting.
Yeah.
So
that's
he gets overexcited.
Everything else, legendaries, we don't need to talk about. But what we can talk about and start moving into though is kind of what news came from D23.
Sure.
We haven't played much in Shimmering. Besides that, we didn't play much in Shimmering Skies. We haven't built any decks or anything because we're going to Toronto this weekend.
Yep.
Which is still set for no Shimmering Skies allowed.
But also no Bucky.
But no Bucky. So it'll be a completely different format than anyone's really ever experienced.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting.
So we'll see what happens there, and then we'll work on getting to Shimmering Skies. So
Shimmering Skies in August.
Yep. Shimmering Skies releases everywhere tomorrow on Friday, all in the Walmarts and big box stores. So let's start talking about news that came from D23. So during D23, which is a big Disney fan event, right? If you're not familiar with it, it happens every 2 years, usually in Anaheim, near Disneyland. What their plan was originally was going to be like on even number years it'll be D23, on odd number years it'll be Star Wars Celebration. Star Wars Celebration would be in different locations. They haven't been able to like fully do that. That basically was because of the pandemic. We'll see if they actually get into that kind of mindset. But during D23, they have a lot of these panels that kind of go over news. Ones that go over like park news, ones that go over movie news, television news, stuff like that. Animation news. And one for Lorcana with Ravensburger. Unfortunately, I couldn't make that one because, again, we were on a flight to Hawaii. But we did have all the news from it. So for those watching on YouTube, for you guys here, I do have some of the things they showed. It's kind of grainy pictures because they didn't actually broadcast it. So this is things that people took pictures of during it. So first up, they have sold over 1 billion cards worldwide. Nice. Okay.
Is that like 1 billion packs or like
cards?
Cards.
So that's divided by 12.
So it's a lot of cards. Great for a first year of a trading card game. Mm-hmm. In perspective, though, like Pokemon probably prints like 9 billion cards every year. So they've got some catching up still to do, but a good first start by selling over 1 billion cards in their first year. That's really cool. The game is doing well.
They're also very rare to find at the beginning, right?
They also announced the locations and months for the European and North American Championships. So if you make top 16 in a Disney Lorcana Challenge, you get an invite to the championships. But depending if you were in Europe, it's European. If you were in the States, it's the North American one, right? So the European Championship will take place in December of this year, and it'll be at Disneyland Paris Resort. So you get to go to Disneyland Paris. Well, you don't get a free trip. Let me make sure that everyone understands that. You don't get a free trip. You have the invite. You still have to get there, right? The other one is the North American Championship, and that will take place in Disneyland in January of 2025. So in both of these cases, odds are it won't even be with the set we're playing with now. It'll be a set 6 tournament, so who knows what cards people will be playing with.
Who knows? Wait, let me just make sure it's going to be 6.
It will be.
It will be.
Remember when set 6 comes out in December? January, yep, it's going to be set 6.
I guess there is a small chance that the European Championship might be set 5 if it's like really, really early December, but odds are no. It'll be set 6. January for sure with North
I would be surprised if they didn't have them both be the same set.
Yeah, they're both the same set because it's 3 months off and it's August right now, so they're going to make the sixth set in November, and then they're not going to make the next set until February, and this is December 2024. This is January 2025. Yes.
Okay. So they didn't go into too many details about like how it's going to work and like times or like how many people will end up there. What they did show is the prize for the person that will win the world championship, which is a one of a kind golden Mickey that will say World Champion 2025 on it.
Can you play it?
So wait, so does that mean there's going to be another championship after the European and American one?
Yes, there will be. So there'll be a world championship, right? So you'll have the North American and European ones, and then you'll have a world one on top of that. Now, where do you think the world championship will take place?
Walt Disney World?
Yeah.
You're right. It's Walt Disney World Resort sometime in 2025. Now, the other card that they've shown.
That's my card.
Everybody that competes at the Walt Disney World Championship.
That's her card.
Gets a copy of A Whole New World
A whole new world.
Wow, that is an amazing card. I love it so much.
So they true Disney fashion, they stuffed as many tons in this whole thing. You go to Worlds at Walt Disney World and get a whole new world while competing at Worlds. So that's how you're going to be able to get that card, is if you make it to Worlds. But first you have to qualify for the North American or European Championship, and then you have to get to a certain place.
They haven't announced what yet?
No, they haven't announced any details about that specifically. They have said there will be like a day zero event to see if you can get into that. But we don't know exactly what that will entail. Okay, so after this, they announced Disney Lorcana Quest fan events.
Ooh.
So this is a little bit different than Disney Lorcana challenges. So this is Disney Lorcana Quest. So right, you get two different aspects of Lorcana. You had challenging in Lorcana, and now you have questing in Lorcana. And the Lorcana Quest fan events are supposed to be more friendly. They're not like competitive events, and some of the prizes that you'll get from them are cards that you can go and get signed. So they won't have any of that text at the bottom. They'll have a place for signatures from artists, characters, etc. And that's what these are made for. They're made for a more non-competitive, friendly, family-friendly type event. We don't have any other details except for knowing that you'll get cards and you can get them signed. That's all we really know about it. Then they went into some more details about things. So they brought up some set 6 cards.
Ooh.
We don't have individual images, so it's really hard to fully tell what they say.
Are those all pirates?
They're all pirates, right? Green and red pirates of the 5 main Disney pals.
And there's another Mickey Mouse Bloodborne. Okay, how many sets do they have to make Mickey Mouse Bloodborns?
Emmett, it's Mickey Mouse. It's the mascot of the company.
He's going to get lots of Bloodborns.
All right? He's not even the first one to get 2 Bloodborns. That was like Jafar. So
Pluto should be like the bird that's like on Mickey's soda or something. I don't know.
I mean, okay.
That should be Iago.
Good call. That's exactly what I was going to say.
It's hard to make out exactly what they're going to do. But yeah, it looks like it's going to be definitely a pirate and sailor type themed set based on the fact that there are 5 of these cards, all with that pirate theme. So we'll learn more about that in the future, but they did show these 5 cards to start off.
So 3
those characters.
So 3 super layers and 1 layer and 1 common. I got what the pack's gonna be called.
What's that?
Journey to something island, like Mystery Island. Journey to Mystery Island.
Okay, well, we'll find out what that is. Then they went on some more news about stuff coming in the future. So they did say that this next pack will contain
Bandale!
Rescue Ranger!
Bandale! There's danger!
Yep, after taking kind of a smallish break the last couple of sets with the Disney Afternoon series, it comes back with Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers will be featured.
What's the It's the afternoon.
That's Chippendale Rescue Rangers, DuckTales, Darkwing Duck, Tailspin.
Yeah, all those characters were like the Disney afternoon block. We had that Disney afternoon block growing up as we were kids.
Yep.
Um, and Chippendale was, I think, the first actually of those shows to start.
Yep.
So we'll have new Chippendale cards in set 6. But they didn't stop there with things coming in future sets, even beyond set 6.
Uh-oh.
So, up next, any clue what this is from?
Black Cauldron!
The Black Cauldron is coming in 2025.
Let's
Yay.
go! This is my favorite Disney movie!
It's really not. He's trying to be sarcastic, but you can't
have to
tell.
remember this was D23, so you have a lot of Disney heads there.
Yeah.
People that know history. This was probably the only time they could have announced Black Cauldron coming.
And people would be excited, yeah.
So you'll have Black Cauldron. So for those that have no idea what Black Cauldron is, prepare to hear really experienced Disney people explain it to you nonstop.
Oh my
for
God.
the next, like, 6
That
months
means
at
there's going to
least.
be cards for what's that weird...
Groogie.
Groogie.
Groogie want apple.
Yeah.
Groogie num num.
Groogie.
Groogie, that's a Pokemon.
Oh.
The ape!
Yeah, I know the guy you're talking about. We only watched it once. It's fine. It's fine. But it is some darker cards, right? So we'll have that. So
That's cool.
that's interesting. So we got Black Cauldron coming up in 2025.
Okay.
And then
Okay. Uh-oh.
we still have more with Pocahontas.
Wow, cool.
Also coming in 2025.
Wait, is that Gale?
No, it's Pocahontas and the hummingbird.
No, look, just the wind. It looks like Gale.
Yeah. I saw someone commenting that, like, Disney is aping their style of Pocahontas because they drew Pocahontas in a canoe, and it's like, it's Pocahontas in a canoe.
That's like her thing.
That's what she does.
It's the colors of the wind.
You always put her in a canoe.
Yeah.
Can you paint with all the colors of the wind?
No,
Well,
the
actually,
wind is clear.
When she's in the canoe, she's singing, I look once more, just around the river bend.
Right. So just around the river bend, look at the next 3 cards
Yeah.
in your deck and put them in any order. Because you looked around the river bend.
Yep.
Right? Okay, let's see what else. Because there was one more thing.
Oh, no.
Right, one more thing. Coming in 2026.
2026?
No, but it's not
2026.
Oswald.
That is how fast. We know Oswald's coming in the next set. Set 6. So this is something that you don't know that's coming to it. Coming in 2026.
2026. All right,
So,
let's see.
2026 will have Pixar coming to Disney Lorcana in 2026. Emma's having a small panic attack here. I've had to keep that a secret for over a week.
Evan, breathe.
Gotta breathe, buddy.
Breathe. Breathe.
Evan loves Pixar.
Evan.
So we're going to have a bunch of Pixar stuff coming in 2026. So you've got like 4 more sets at least before they're even going to show anything from it, right? Because you got you got 1 more set this year, and then
I'm just
4 more sets next year.
I am warning you. Like, I am gonna cry when I see Wally and Eve. I'm just like
Imagine there's a
Too
call.
bad all the cards are going to be from Tinker Toy. All of them are from Tinker Toy and the Good Dinosaur.
Bug's Life.
That's what I was gonna
Bug's
say.
Life, the Good Dinosaur, and like the shorts.
Yeah.
Bob.
Okay. I would love to have a lava card. That would be amazing.
Yeah.
It'll be the guy playing chess. It'll be the guy playing chess short.
Hey Bob, imagine if there's a card with Wally
Oh my
and
God.
Eve
Oh my
that's
God.
called Together Forever.
Yeah, they're gonna have forever songs.
I mean, I wonder if they
Or 4 Town. They're gonna have 4 Town songs.
4 Town songs.
4 Town.
Yeah.
4 Town songs.
Sure. Yep.
In Lorcana. 4 Town.
4 Town.
Does the
I
question
never met
nobody like you? I am so excited for this. I mean, not excited if I find out that Big gets it to Lorcana, but
Yeah, I think that would be the only thing that would make them more excited than Pixar coming is if they had Disney Park stuff come in.
like Figment.
Yeah, they didn't announce anything like that. Just Pixar was their last big announcement, so we have some idea of like the properties that are coming through the next
Woo.
year and a half, right? You have to hope that that's going to be earlier in 2026.
I
at the
hope.
end of 2026, right? That far out. We know they were planned up to set 10, right? So we're on set 5. Set 6 is in November, which means set 10 is in next November, right? So they were at set 10.
So probably in about set 12.
And so either the set that comes out in February or May of 2026 is where we're looking for these, right? So quite some time.
So excited.
So that was all the news coming out of D23. Quite a bit of information. They didn't want to go too far into set 6 with set 5 coming out that day, and still like it hasn't hit big box stores yet, right?
Right.
I wouldn't be surprised, end of Toronto weekend if they release the trailer on the broadcast like they normally do.
And
I know. I guess there's one more in Birmingham, like over in Europe, within the next couple weeks. So they could wait till that, but they could also do it this weekend.
see, I think they would do it. I hope they do it this weekend, and then maybe when Birmingham comes up, that's when they actually start, teasing cards.
Sure.
Because that's kind of what they did for this set.
Yep. Okay. So D23, lots of fun news. Let's move on though and do trivia time.
It's trivia time. Ta-da!
All right. First up, finish the quote from Encanto. You're just as blank as anyone else in this family.
It is special.
Is that what we're going with?
Yeah.
That is correct.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure it's right.
Okay, next up, our favorite movie. Nadia, a prison guard in the movie Muppets Most Wanted, is played by what comedian? You two don't have a chance.
Is it, what's his name? Jim
Nadia.
Saying him.
Nadia is a woman's
It's not
name.
great.
Jim Downey.
All right.
It's a her. It's a him.
Is
a her.
it?
It's Nadia.
Chris Pratt.
Also a guy. Also a dude.
What comedian? I don't know.
This was Tina Fey. Tina Fey.
I would never seen Tina
Famous
Fey as
for
a
her
Nadia.
Russian
Yeah.
accent. Up next, who captains the ship, the Flying Dutchman, in Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest?
Mom, it's up to you. Isn't it?
Isn't it Jack Sparrow?
Isn't
Oh, then it's
girl's name look like?
Elizabeth Snow.
Swan.
Oh, Swan. Elizabeth Swan.
No.
No, then it must have been Will Turner.
No.
I don't know then.
That's Davy Jones.
Oh, is it just Davy Jones?
Davy Jones.
Oh.
I could have guessed that.
I cannot tell you the last time I have watched those movies. Oh shoot, I better let the dog in.
All right now. All right. In what movie did the character Tinkerbell finally speak for the first time?
The Tinkerbell movie.
Malcolm.
Tinkerbell, Dead Men Tell No Tales.
Tinkerbell gets dark.
No.
Really dark.
Tinkerbell.
Peter Pan.
No, it was the first movie that she talked.
That she talks?
We've got Tinkerbell movie and Tinkerbell Dead Men Tell No Tales.
I have no idea.
It is Tinkerbell.
Yay!
Good job.
All right, here you go. Why? This is a weird question. It's just weird. True or false? In The Little Mermaid, Ariel marries Prince Eric.
Yeah.
True.
I think it's
Yes.
Yeah, it's true.
True.
It's just strange trivia question. I guess you like if you don't know the exact last scene, like there could be some trickery. Like if it was false, it would be more trickery because like there is a wedding, right, in the movie, but the wedding we see more of is not Ariel and Eric, right? It's Vanessa and Eric.
Right.
So. Okay. So that brings an end to trivia.
That was only 3 questions.
No, it was fine.
Nope, that was 5. Yep, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So.
Let me see ya.
No. Here you go. I have the card. I gave you nothing. Enjoy. Anyways, so that brings us to the end. We are getting ready to go to Toronto.
Yeah, I got a
in
pass.
Canada. Yep. For the Disney Lorcana Challenge there. We're all competing. hopefully to have more fun than anything else. To see people, let these guys see what a true competitive tournament looks like. Give them a chance to compete. I know they really wanted to after we got back from Chicago. So should be a fun time for all. If you do see us, feel free to say hi. Um, let us know how you're doing. We'll let you know how we're doing, and we'll take pictures and whatnot. We'll try to record things, and we'll report back on how we did next week. Yep. So looking forward to that. Uh, with that, we'll end the podcast. Thank you so much for listening or watching. If you would like a video version of the show, you can go on YouTube and search QuestLore. If you want an audio version, if you don't want to look at us, find us on all major audio platforms. If you have any questions, you can send them to QuestLoreQuestions@gmail.com, and you can find us on social media at QuestLorePod. Follow us on Twitter, follow us on Instagram. That's what we post things when we remember to do it. Thank you again so much. If you could, please rate, subscribe, like, leave a comment, whatever you want to do. And thank you again so much for listening.
Figment the Imaginary Dragon for Lorcana!